Ladies and gentlemen, I am up to here when it comes to this whole New York Knicks stuff now. Y'all won the championship. Yay, I'm happy for you. You did it for New York. But now y'all really pissing me off and you're dragging this whole narrative about how good Jalen Brunson is. He's good. He's good. He's good. But he's not Allen Iverson. And we need to stop doing this. So let's get into this episode right now. Jalen Brunson just won the NBA championship. He did something that Allen Iverson couldn't do. Allen Iverson took Matt Geiger, Theo Ratliff, Eric Snow, George Lynch, Aaron McKee, Todd McCullough, and a decrepit Dikembe Mutombo to the NBA Finals. Took one game away from the Lakers, which is Shaq and Kobe. That was the only loss Shaq and Kobe got all NBA playoffs. That's a hell of an accomplishment for you to get that one game over a juggernaut. Legit David versus Goliath. What Jalen Brunson did in no small feat, he helped New York City get an NBA championship after 53 years. But who did he have on his team? I don't know. Cat? I don't know. OG Anunoby? I don't know. Mikal Bridges? Mitchell Robinson? Now, I'm not going to say Iverson took a bunch of nobodies to the NBA Finals, but if you're really going to compare the teams and the players, let's be real here. Jalen Brunson had way more help than an Allen Iverson ever had. Furthermore, if Jalen Brunson's career were to just end right now, God forbid, if he had a Derrick Rose type of situation in which he did not come back to true form, he is not better than Allen Iverson, so we have to stop that. Let Jalen Brunson's career play out a little bit more before we start claiming that he's better than somebody. Let's let him do a little bit more before we start saying that he's better than player A, B, or C. Now, I was watching Just Say You Hate Basketball, and usually I agree with a lot of the things he says. Majority of the things he says when it comes to basketball. But then he used an unfair comparison when comparing James Harden and Dwayne Wade. So his comparison went like this. I'm not going to show the clip. I'm just going to say it. He said, Dwayne Wade won a championship just like Jalen Brunson won a championship. James Harden got to the NBA Finals just like Iverson got to the NBA Finals, but neither of them won. Here's the difference between that comparison already. James Harden was on a team with Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook, and he was the third option going to the NBA Finals. James Harden hasn't led his team to the finals as the number one. That's one thing. Iverson took his team to the finals as a number one. So that's the biggest difference right there. Secondly, James Harden, he said James Harden has an MVP. Allen Iverson has an MVP. Dwayne Wade and Jalen Brunson have finals MVPs. Jalen Brunson wasn't even the best player on his team for the first few games of the series. The man was shooting 28% from the field until his closeout game performance. What are we doing? We have to stop with this recency bias, bro. Like, we got to stop. And all these pundits out here really trying to say that Jalen Brunson is better than Iverson at this point. You have to stop. Iverson has accumulated more than Jalen Brunson at this point. The only reason why we're having the James Harden and Dwayne Wade conversation is because they both had enough of a career that you can't compare the two. Iverson's retired now. Jalen Brunson literally just got started. Yeah, he won 7 trophies this year. Yay. He won trophies that they didn't even have when Iverson was playing. We gotta stop it. We gotta chill with this recency bias. It's disgusting. I'm not a Brunson hater, and I'm not even an Allen Iverson fan. You know who would really be able to have this conversation? Cake. And definitely Cake is going to have this conversation soon. He's going to be on the episode, and we're going to talk about that. But I'm just so disgusted with how we're talking about Iverson not being as good as Jalen Brunson because Brunson won this championship, as if Brunson didn't have a whole fucking team around him that were better players than what Iverson ever had around him. Now, I'm not going to say the players now are better than the players back then. I still will never say that. But if you look at that team that Brunson had compared to who Iverson had, this team is considerably better. Way better, if you ask me. Cat used to lead his team in Minnesota. Mikal Bridges went to the finals with Phoenix. OG Anunoby is already an NBA champion with Toronto. Josh Hart played in multiple playoff games. Compare that to Matt Geiger and Theo Ratliff. Mutombo is probably the only one on that team that had that much experience with the NBA playoffs, as he was a number 8 team with Denver, beating the number 1 team in Seattle, I think back in 92. That whole, the first lower seed to be the number 1 seed thing, that's what he was a part of. But that's not Mutombo from the Nuggets. This is Mutombo, God rest his soul, close to 40 out of the prime of his career. Now, he still was a really good player. I'm not going to say he wasn't, because I think he made all defense that year anyway, like 3rd team or something like that. But he's not the player that Cat was at this moment. Like, what are we doing here? Like, we really have to stop this unfair comparison and really trying to push this unnecessary narrative that Brunson is better than Iverson just because of this one playoff run. What if Brunson does nothing else for the rest of his career? What if he turns into a bum? Legit, what if he turns into a bum? What do we want to say then? Like, we people get so enamored with what's happening right now that we don't allow these players' careers to extend and go as long as it possibly can before we start these unfair comparisons. Like, we gotta chill. The season just ended. They just won the chip. There is no way in the world. Matter of fact, let's go to the stats right quick. Let's compare Brunson and Iverson real quick. Let's look at Brunson's best statistical career. Jalen Brunson. Okay. Oh, my Yankees just lost. Okay, cool. So Jalen Brunson is a 3-time All-Star and a 2026 NBA champion. Okay, boom. He came to the Knicks in 2022, 2023. Let's put on low power mode because the iPad is almost about to die. His best statistical season, right? His best positioning for MVP, right? Was his second year with the Knicks. No, I'm sorry, his first year with the Knicks. No, second year, my bad. He was 5th in MVP voting. That year, he averaged 28.7 points per game, 6.7 assists, 1 steal, no blocks, 2.4 turnovers. Okay. Allen Iverson. Let's see. 11-time All-Star, 4-time scoring champ. I'm going to skip over one for a reason. 7-time All-NBA, All-Rookie, Rookie of the Year, 2-time All-Star MVP, 2001 MVP, NBA 75th anniversary team, and the one thing I left out, Allen Iverson is a 3-time steals leader. 3-time steals leader. I'm going to say this one more time. 3-time steals leader. 3 times in his career, he averaged 3 steals per game. And every other year, he was always around 2 steals per game, except for his final 3 years in the league. His final year in the league. He was always up around 2 point something steals per game. That is every year this man has been in the league. A 3-time steals champion. Brunson, steals per game, 1. In the first few years, it's always at the lower aspect of the 1 steal per game. Because I'm rounding up. So sometimes it's 0.8, 0.9. So if it's 0.8, 0.9, we round up. It's 1. Iverson has always been around 2 to 3 steals per season, per game in a season. What are we talking about? What are we doing? We have to stop allowing these championships to dictate everything. It dictates a lot, but it doesn't dictate everything. You have to give Brunson more time to play. He's been in the league, 6 years, 7 years? Iverson is a whole Hall of Fame player. We have to stop this madness, man. It's unfair to players like Iverson that didn't win a chip. It's unfair to play like we're gonna say Dirk is better than Karl Malone. We can't really say that, not definitively. He may have a better jump shot. Or you're gonna say, oh well, Karl Malone benefited from playing with John Stockton. Okay, cool. If that's gonna be your argument, then Jalen Brunson benefited from playing with Cat and Luka. See what I did there? I'm going to use the argument that you're going to make against you. What are we doing here, man? What are we doing? We got to stop. Iverson played both sides of the ball. You've never heard teams say, oh, we're going to pick on Iverson defensively. He may not be the greatest defender, but no one ever said we're going to pick on Iverson defensively. No one ever said that. But a lot of times in these playoffs, they say, oh, we're going to pick at Jalen Brunson defensively. Just look at the tape. I ain't making this up. This is real. This is real stuff right here. So we got to stop with the foolishness, bro. I get it. Y'all are in the moment, but you got to stop, bro. You got to stop. Because there is no world in which Brunson is better than Allen Iverson right now at the moment. No. Just no. And I'm not going to stand for that. Hell no. You can't have that conversation. And this is why I can't have certain conversations. And this is why I don't have certain conversations with Knicks fans, because they're going to live in the moment. So all of a sudden now, Cat better than any power forward now? What are we doing here now? What are we doing? What are we doing? We got to stop this. We really have to stop this. Because it's unsensical. It's unsensical. You're not making any sense with that argument. And y'all a lot of times you're going to down that hill because you believe in what you believe in. And that's cool. That's totally fine. Believe in what you believe in. But what you believe in is false. It's false. Because there's no world in which right now, as we speak, Brunson is better than Iverson. Brunson's the better player. Iverson's the better player and has the better career so far. One championship does not make you better than anybody. I don't care. One chip. Now, if he does a second chip, okay. Second chip, okay. Then we get, but then it also depends on what happens later on in his career. Because you can have that 1 or 2 chips, but if you ain't do shit afterwards, what are we doing? What are we doing? So we gotta stop that. Live in your moment, but chill with the recency bias. Because now y'all just going crazy. This is just a quick episode. Man, y'all pissed me off. I'll holler at y'all later. It's your boy Sneakerhead and Why. Nice at the round table. Peace. at the round table.
This copyrighted broadcast of the Nights at the Round Table podcast was transmitted, produced, broadcast, and used in many forms without the express written consent of the song authors. We do not own any of these audio tracks, and we want to give full credit and say thank you to all the rightful owners. We do not condone piracy, and we encourage you to seek permission first before distributing our show. Simply put, we don't want to get sued. Thank you.